Today I want to show you how to use an app called Resilio Sync to sync files between PCs. This has been a go-to tool for me and my dual PC setup for streaming for years. So if you want a little bit of backstory, stick around. If you want to just get right to the tutorial, go right here. Now, Resilio Sync is an application that you can install on multiple PCs that will allow you to sync files of any size or kind back and forth. It uses the torrent protocol, which you pirates might recognize. It is completely peer-to-peer and it skips over syncing to the cloud, meaning it is wicked fast. It's also private. It'll let you sync files as fast as your internal network will allow you. So of course, this works best if your PCs are hardwired. So this tutorial is aimed at streamers that have dual PC setups that are looking to sync asset files back and forth. But sorry, but if you're just like a normal dude trying to set this up, it'll still work right off the bat. Why wouldn't you just use the built-in file sharing that Windows has? Why wouldn't you use a cloud solution like Dropbox or OneDrive or Google Drive? Reason number one, simplicity for the end user. For me, it's way easier to educate somebody on how to use Resilio Sync to share files rather than educate them on file sharing, file permissions, usernames and passwords. It's just easier to say, hey, generate a key and share it. Done. And this is still just as, if not more secure. Number two, Resilio Sync makes it insanely easy for you to share the same files with anybody outside of your network, which if you were to try to do that with Windows file sharing as a newbie, you'd have a really hard time. You have editors and artists that are abroad that need access to your files, sync them up. No uploading files to the cloud, and you can give them just read permissions if you don't want them messing with your stuff. So number three, one of the biggest reasons I like this is OBS doesn't really like it if your assets are stored in a different location rather than just like an internal hard drive. Resilio Sync actually copies all of the PC from PC1 to PC2, and then you just point OBS to those files and Bob's your uncle. Also, it acts as kind of a backup. You don't have backups, do you? So number four, real-time editing within OBS. Anytime that you save a file to PC1 that is synced with PC2, if those files are being used in OBS when OBS is open, you can save a file and have it automatically update on the OBS side. So if you're working on an overlay and you make a minor edit to a couple pixels on your gaming PC, as soon as you save that file and it syncs over, OBS's preview will automatically update with that file. Pretty dope. So great for making small overlay tweaks if you're somebody who's editing your own overlays. Really quick, before we get to the tutorial, I just want to give you like a really quick rundown of how my drives are set up. I think this is really important to highlight. So in both my gaming PC and my streaming PC, I have a large mechanical hard drive that is my secondary drive that stores everything. Pictures, videos, documents, anything audio, it all gets saved there. Nothing other than programs and software are on my main C drive. So what I do is I pick and choose which files that I want to sync over to the streaming PC. So I'm not syncing entire drives or entire directories. I'm just pick and choosing which individual folders I want to sync over. So when it comes to OBS, it will make your life so much easier if you keep everything organized. In case you ever have to like get a new PC, reinstall your operating system, all of your assets stay in one drive in the same directory. It just makes things really, really easy. All right, that's enough talk. Let's do tutorial. I have a screen recording going on both PCs right now, so I will show you the setup on PC1, and then we'll scoot over onto PC2. All right, so first and foremost, we want to... What do you know? What do you fucking know? Every time I do a tutorial, dude, every time. First, we need to download the Resilio Sync software. So open up Google, go to Resilio Sync, and there are professional and enterprise versions of this application. We're going to be able to get away with just the free version. So top right, looking for Sync, free download, download for home use only. Once you click there, your download should have completed. Now, run the installer. It's just a general app installer. There's nothing funny. One really quick distinction. The installer is going to ask you if you want to install Resilio Sync as a service or just a regular application. I choose to run them as a service because when Windows boots, I want Resilio Sync to boot. The only caveat to that is you then have to manage Resilio Sync in a web browser instead of just a normal application that you can launch from the start menu. You also need to set up a username and password in order to access it. I personally like that security, but it's totally up to you. If you're not sure, just install it regularly. You'll be fine. You'll just have to know that in order for things to sync, that application needs to be open. Another pro to not installing it as a service is if you're streaming and then a file starts syncing and you're dropping frames because you're maxing out your bandwidth, you can just close out Resilio Sync and it'll stop syncing. So The choice is yours. All right, so since I run mine as a service, I'll get logged into mine right now. Obviously, you can see that I have a crap ton of folders that are synced, but they are all coming from the same hard drive. Keeps it easy. All right, you are ready to add your first synced folder. Be sure where you want to put these files, because once you start syncing things, it's a pain to undo it or redo it. I'm going to show you the beginner way to do this, and then I will after show you the way that I do this. First, let's create the folder that we want to sync. So if I open up my primary hard drive and then click on users and Naaackers, create a new folder called Resilio. Resilio will be our master folder where we keep all of our folders that are synced. And we just want to create one folder right now, which is a sync between PC1 and PC2. All right, let's create a new folder there. And we'll just call this PC1 to PC2. Okay, so head back to Resilio, hit the plus button in the top left corner and click standard folder. And we just want to navigate to that folder that we just created. So C, users, Naaackers, Resilio, and PC1 to PC2, and hit open. Now we're automatically prompted with what we want to do with that folder. So click on read and write. And because you know you're the one adding this folder, you can uncheck these two boxes for security and then hit key and then copy the read and write key. Find a way to get that key over to PC2. I'm just going to post this in my copy and paste channel in Discord. Now that we have that folder synced, open that back up in File Explorer. Let's just create a basic test file. So when we sync the folder on the other PC, if this syncs over, then we know we're good. All right, we're now moving over to PC number 2. So you should already have Resilio Sync installed at this point. So I will open that folder as if I do have it installed. I'll go ahead and open Resilio. Now to add a folder that is synced with an existing PC, we're gonna, again, click on the plus button in the top left corner, and then instead of hitting standard folder, we wanna hit enter a key or link. So as soon as you do that, we are going to paste that 25 character link that we got from our gaming PC here. Now with our computers linked, we need to choose where we want the files from the other PC to sync on this PC. We're just gonna mimic the directory structure that we created on the first PC. So again, go to your primary hard drive, into users, into your user folder, and then since I already have a Resilio folder created, you need to create one here. And then in here, I will create one called PC2 to PC1. Name it whatever you want. I don't give a shit. Make sure you go into that folder and then hit select folder. The way you can confirm that worked was actually to look at the Peers Online. And if you click on Peers Online, it should show you that you are currently synced and online with that other PC. So now navigate to that folder in File Explorer. And if you did everything right, you should see a file called test. The test file that we created on PC1 that is officially synced over to number 2. You're done. Okay, now it's time to show you how I do things, a little bit more advanced way rather than just having one folder where you have to drop everything to sync. Like I mentioned before, I have a secondary hard drive where all of my media files are stored, my audio, my video, and my photo. So I sync each one of those 3 folders separately. So I technically have 3 sync keys. Remember, you can sync any folder on your PC to another PC. It doesn't need to all be contained in one Dropbox folder or one Google Drive folder. So you have some flexibility, which I like. On my gaming PC, you'll see I have a folder for videos for OBS, sound effects, and Photoshop. So videos, audio, and photos, and then any Photoshop files as well. If I go into my D drive and I open video and I go to Naaackers and I look at videos for OBS, I am syncing just this folder over to my streaming PC. Same thing with photos. If I go into pictures and then Photoshop and Naaackers, I am only syncing the Naaackers Photoshop folder over to my streaming PC. So I'm just choosing one photo out of all of these directories. Now I know that that might require a lot of hard drive space, right? But mechanical hard drive storage is so cheap right now. You can probably get a 3 terabyte mechanical drive for under $100. My recommendation is to keep a large mechanical hard drive as a secondary drive in both the gaming PC and the streaming PC. Let's say you just created a new clip compilation video that you want to use on your Be Right Back screens. You edit it on your gaming PC, you save it to your videos folder, and then boom, that video is automatically synced over to the streaming PC. So if you want to add that video as a media asset in OBS, it's already on the computer. You didn't have to move it, you didn't have to transfer it, it's just already there. So any audio, any sound effects, any videos, any overlays that I create, they automatically disappear on my streaming PC and I never have to move anything. And let's say your streaming PC croaks and you're a dummy, you didn't back anything up. You install a new operating system on your new PC, you resync all your folders, and then all of your OBS assets automatically just move over to the streaming PC. But Jesus Christ, get some backups. Also, if you're curious about how to automatically backup OBS, I actually have another video that if I know how to do YouTube, I'll put it up here or I'll put it at the end of the video. It'll teach you how it's easy. All right, my friends, that is all I have on Resilio Sync. I hope you learned something today. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me in the comments. We also have a Discord where you can ask any technical questions. So if you need assistance on this setup, we have a lot of people there that use this app as well. More than happy to help you out. Thank you so much for checking out this video. I hope you have a great night. See ya.
Sex toy company. What? Bad Dragon. These are some sick ass stickers though. Oh my God. Why? Why did you do that to me, website? Oh my God. Fuck.